Hi, welcome to the Bee Rookie. So unfortunately I've had to do a voiceover for this one, and the reason being is that the wind and everything, plus I didn't take my external microphone, so I'm literally battling with the wind. It was a windy day, and the wind and all of the noise and everything on the original audio just wasn't good enough. You couldn't hear me speaking, so I'm just going to go through it. So this is the farm apiary, and the two nucs that I picked up from the previous video are going in. This is the wooden hive, and the experiment is I'm going to use two nucs. One of them will go into a wooden hive and the other will go into a poly hive. So I've got a Pains polyhive that's going, well, it's already in, but it's sort of along the way from this one, and this one is going to take the wooden hive. So this nuc that's going in now, so 6-frame nuc, it's a Hoffman nuc, this one was, and just going to, as you can see, just tapping in the bees. Bee rookie mistake coming up. Remove everything. So they'd been fed on fondant. These are overwintered, not removed everything, and then as I'm tapping in the bees, I also tap in the feeder cover and polystyrene. So not the best of starts, but there we are. So just getting the frames ready to install. I had got the smoker lit, but these bees were really good. They were flying about a little bit, but there was no aggression at all. So very pleased with them. Just getting their first frame ready. Obviously there was a lot of propolis with regards to the frames being sort of stuck together over winter that the bees had done. And then just getting them ready. So the first frame should come out shortly. I can't remember if this was the heavy frame of pollen. I think it was not pollen, of honey. There was one frame that came out of this nuc that was absolutely packed. Now that looks like it's got a bit of brood on it maybe, but I'm always looking for the queen as they're going in. That being the most sort of extreme frame, full of stores, it wasn't really going to have the queen, but I did have a look. I couldn't see her on that frame. Next frame coming in, this one had larvae brooding all stages, so I was sort of paying particular more attention to this frame, trying to find the queen, but no, she wasn't on this one. Making a bit of room. As you can see, it's sort of plentiful of bees, lots of bees flying, but yeah, it's the way that I was told to do it, and this is by Adrian, who has been keeping bees for many years. Told me I really don't need to worry about orientate them. I was probably about 12 miles away from the nuc, where I picked up the nucs, and he said there's no need to. He said they can just go straight in. They were absolutely boiling over, and so I was just going to take his advice. He is the master. So I think this was the frame that had the queen on it. Yeah, I think I talked to the camera here and said I've found the queen. Now this was the rookie mistake right now. I'd found the queen. I had the queen catcher in my pocket, and yet I put her in the hive. She's completely unmarked. I had my pen with me. I had the queen catcher and I didn't mark her. So that was a silly mistake, having seen her, and with the amount of brood that's going into this hive, I think that I should have potentially marked her then, but we'll live and learn. Great Adrian doesn't even mark his queens, and he says the reason he doesn't mark them is purely down to the fact he can never find them. But you know, that's fine as well, but it just makes it easier for inspections and stuff. But yeah, another frame of stores, I think now. There was two quite heavily sort of honey bound frames, but obviously installing the nuc, putting them all in order, ensuring they're nice and snug, putting the frames back in, and then just making sure everything's nice and snug, ready to put the queen excluder on. So that was the first nuc. Pretty much, you know, uneventful really. Just going to tap the last of the bees in. Some nurse bees in there that just weren't happy to come out, but we got them in the end. Just putting all that together again, just so I can seal it up and I haven't got to worry about anything then. It's just out of the way, so that's fine. So I'm going to put the queen excluder on. Now Adrian had given me some packs of fondant, and he just basically said that with the way that they're going in, you know, with completely fresh foundation, just to be on the safe side, it just gives them a way to go and, you know, get some extra food if they wanted it. But yeah, so that was the old foundation that was left. I could have probably just left that on, to be honest, but I've taken it off now just purely because it was just too much food really for them. They didn't need that much food, especially with the amount of honey they've got. Well, that's the first one in. So what I had to do was just put a super like box on, no frames. I think I've just got a couple just to store them, because I had frames everywhere at this point. But yeah, I just needed to ensure the bees were in, settled. I could put the roof on, but I needed to put a super box on just to enable the roof to go on without smashing all the fondant or squeezing all the fondant and things like that. So that's what I did. I just think that was a nice little bit just to put in at the end. So that was just taken from the front of the wooden hive, literally showing you them fanning. You know, they were saying, come in, this is home now, and letting everybody else know who was doing their orientation flights that everything's fine, coming in, she's in here, as in the queen. And it was all for the greater good.
How can this be for the greater good? Shut it!
Well, I had to put that in. It was almost like the law. So if you're not a Hot Fuzz fan, then I apologise, but that's where that was from. Anyway, so this is the poly hive. Like I said, it's a Payne's National Hive. I'd already got it set up, so it's on the hive stand. All the frames are in, and it's a case of installing the second nuke now into this one. So the experiment's going to be which one is going to sort of progress quicker, you know, sort of like grow faster, as it were. And so this is the experiment that I'm doing. So whether it's poly or wood and what I buy in the future will depend obviously on this, because at the end of the day it's about the bees' comfort, and you know, we are there to look after them, but they will also serve us by doing all the stuff they do with you know, with producing honey and pollination and all the great things that bees do. So that's what it is. Anyway, so this is the, like I said, Payne's Polyhive. This is the second nuke now that's going to go in. One thing I did learn, and it was a sort of lesson from when I was installing the nuke with Adrian, is that just not orientate your nuke, but put your nuke in the position so you're not sort of crossing over like I was, or I have done before. So effectively what I'm doing here is I am look at all of that wild comb there that they've drawn out into the top. This is when I was installing this, such a strong colony. That wild comb, it had honey in it. It wasn't capped, but it was, or nectar in it. It was absolutely beautiful looking comb, and it was so fresh. So this is, yeah, the nuke's gonna go in there. This hive, unfortunately we can't see it. So this nuke was absolutely brimming with bees. It was bubbling over. There were so many bees in it, I can't even explain. They were in the feeder. Well, you could see that by the amount of comb they've drawn out. But they were in the feeder. They were everywhere. Everything was just full of bees. They'd drawn comb throughout the feeder, as you can see there, right through the middle. So there was a lot of bees. Fortunately, as I was putting this one in, I managed to break one of the frames because I just couldn't get the bees out. You can see there's some more comb there, and yeah, a strong colony. Very orangey type bees. I think these are pretty much on the Buckfast strain, because they're very sort of orange, the bees, compared to the other hive. But I'm not a snob. I'm not one of these people that need it. If they become aggressive, then I'll requeen them. You know, that's just the nature of the hobby, isn't it? But at this present moment in time, there is no reason to do that. Pretty similar format though in regards to the nuke and putting it in. It's going to be exactly the same. The frames will go in the orientation that they come out, and they will go into this hive in exactly the same order. And they were heavy on the honey side of things. There was a lot of stores. What I will do when I plan to do inspections and film inspections and all that kind of stuff, because I want to sort of keep a diary of how the hives are growing. But they're over 6 frames obviously here, and yeah, and it was brilliant. They are fantastic bees, very strong colony, already going out doing orientation flights, as you can see. And yeah, I'd planned to put the nucleus there, to leave it for a day, let them orientate, come back and all that. But having spoken to Adrian, he said, you just don't need to do it. And, you know, he knows his bees and I didn't. We were plenty far away. Bees are out orientating. You can see them there, sort of coming out, finding out where they are, going back, coming out, and just doing all of that. And yeah, they were fine. They were sort of inquisitive, but there was no stings. Nothing happened, and it was an absolutely great day. So I'll just leave it there. I'll let you watch the final part, obviously me putting it in, and then we'll close the video off. And yeah, here we go. Rookie mistake number 2. So I've put the feeder on top there, and then the crown board, just a clear crown board on these, and the queen excluder I take off. However, I don't, so the queen has then got direct access to the feeder, which obviously is something I don't want. So, you know, it's just something to be mindful of. I think in real terms, even when you looked at the brood pattern of this particular hive now is really good. The cluster's good. They're on 6 framed bees without any problem at all. And I think this is going to be a really, really strong hive. So for the future, you know, it's definitely worth thinking about options, whether or not I split them or whatever I'm going to do with them going forwards. I don't know, but that's a long way down the line yet. But yeah, just opening up the fondant now. I put the patty next to, so they've got access to it. And crown board goes on. Do I realise here? I hope I do. So, what am I doing? I mean, why would you put the queen excluder on top of a crown board? I'm obviously not thinking straight here. I'm not going to edit this out because this is something I've done. And only seeing it now while I'm doing a voiceover and watching the video along with you, probably screaming at the TV going, or the phone or whatever. You're watching, I'm thinking, what have you done? I know I've done something wrong. I can just see by my body, sort of my body language, that I'm looking at it thinking, something's not right here. I've done something wrong, and I'm sort of probably playing it all through in my head. So hopefully, come on, Simon. No, it seems that I couldn't work it out. Anyway, this channel's just growing, and it'd be really, really great if you could support me and the growth of this channel. So all I would ask is, it's for free, so please click on the like and subscribe, and obviously click that bell icon, and every time I upload a video you'll be notified. It'd be really nice to have your support and have you come in to support the hive. So I'll fast forward now to the end. I just slowed this down. I think having watching the video and sort of doing the audio and everything while I'm going through it, I just wanted this to be seen. I mean, look at that. Absolutely stunning, stunning wild comb. So thank God at this point I'd realised what I'd done. Obviously I'd been sort of scratching my head and I'd realised. So the super's come off. The supers are only there just as just to keep it all together. So I took the queen excluder off the crown board. Little rookie mistake as well there, because I have just put the feeder on top of that box without checking to see if the queen was there. So a lot of learning, a lot of things to sit and think about, but yeah, couldn't get the queen excluder on because of the burr comb on the top, but cleared it all off, put the queen excluder on, and we were ready to go, and both hives were in nice and safe. So I'll fast forward it all to the end of the video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.